Alright guys, today we're continuing our trend on working on our Norton Commando, or my Norton Commando, and today is cleaning carburetor day. So honestly, these carburetors were fine. I don't think there's any issues with them. They're premieres. I've got new gaskets and all that kind of stuff if I need it, but I don't think I should really need anything for these. I'm just going to take them apart, clean them real well, put them in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then just reassemble them. It's kind of a simple thing. I don't think there's much to these carburetors. I've never taken them apart before, but I don't think it'll be too bad of a job. So let's get to it. All right, so you can see we have our two carburetors right here. They've got these plastic pieces on here, which I do not think belong on here. They look quite broken. So I'm not sure what's going on with these. Looks like it's supposed to thread on, and they're, let's see. Yeah, I think I've got some replacement parts for that. We'll put those to the side. I don't think I'll be reusing them. There's not much to these carburetors at all. I've got some basic tools over here, and that should be kind of all I really need to get these apart. Wow, these were already fairly loose. That's not necessarily a good sign, but it is what it is. All right, we've got a bolt there. Alright, this filter actually has a little bit of grime in it. I don't know if it can focus. There's a little bit of muck in this filter. I don't know if I have new filters for these. If I don't, I will order some new ones. It wouldn't hurt to have some sitting around. I've got this kit here. There actually might be a filter in here. Take a look. Looks like a filter right in here. There's a little filter, so I've got replacements, so that's good. All right, here's our fuel lines here. This doesn't look too bad. I might, since I'm doing all the other work to the bike, I might as well go ahead and replace these fuel lines. I'll have to order some. So I'm just gonna leave this as it is for now. That way I've got all the lengths and everything, so when I get some new fuel lines, I can get the measurements correct. All right, we'll put all this over here. All right, let's try to remember which one's which. Well, all right. That unscrewed very easily. And then here I am removing the float bowl now. Right. There's our float bowl with our float. Remove this little gasket here. Should have a replacement in this kit. Hopefully I ordered the right kit. Let's open this up. Let's see. So that's out of the kit. Perfect. All right, good. All right. Float lifts right out. Needle, a little bit of dirt right here. That should just wipe off. It's already wiping off with my hand, so that's not going to be too bad. inside of the float bowl looks quite good. A little bit of dirt, light dirt, but it's not bad. I've definitely seen way worse in carburetors. And now we will remove our jets here. All right, we'll remove our jets here. There we go. Okay, the whole thing is coming apart. Actually looks very clear. There's no debris in here. I should be able to get this apart here. Let me grab a wrench to get all this apart. But this does look clear, so that's good, but I'll go ahead and pull it apart before I put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. All right, we're going to try to take this apart now. There we go. Jets. And let's see if this side comes off as well. Just like that, easy enough. All right, so in the premieres we have this screw here. Go. And then we have our two screws on this side. I'm going to see how far out these are. Half, one, about 1 1/4 turns on this screw right here. That's where it was at. Half, one, half, two, half, three, half, four. This one was 4 turns out. I like to just count so I have a kind of a baseline of what it was at, because the bike was running well. So it gives me a baseline. And I don't know, I'm sure there's a factory spec on this as well. So I can kind of set them at factory, but also know what these go at. All right. It's got little O-rings on our screws right here on both of these. If it'll focus. There's little O-rings on these screws and they actually look good. They don't look dried out, dry rotted or anything like that, so that's good. I'm hesitant to put this float in the parts washer because I don't want anything happening to the float itself. I'll just clean this off by hand. All right, so we're going to put our pieces here. Let's see if I can't get them on the camera here. So we'll do what I like to do with carburetors is do one at a time if there's multiple. That way when I'm putting it back together I can reference the other one in case I have any questions. This screw actually looks really good too. The O-ring looks nice on it. There's some passages in it as well. They look clear. I'll see if I can't pull this O-ring off and put it in the parts washer as well, or the ultrasonic cleaner. All right, so into the ultrasonic cleaner we go. All right, over here on my very messy workbench is my ultrasonic cleaner. I've actually never used this one. I've had a cheapo one from Harbor Freight for years and it's done the job. However, it's kind of starting to make funny noises. So when I bought my Vapor Blaster, these people also sold ultrasonic cleaners, so I got me a nice and big one. What I do like about this one, it has this little ball where I can put small pieces in, jets and things like that. and they don't fall through the gates here. Like that. All right, we'll put our carburetor in, our body, our float bowl. All right, and I've never used this one before. It's already set on 40 degrees Celsius. I don't know, we'll go with that. Okay, so this is to turn the heat on. And my smaller one had a heater as well, and it seemed like things worked better when it was warm. I probably should have started heating this up when I was taking the carburetor apart, but that's okay. I don't imagine this will take too long to heat up. All right, so we are at 40 degrees here, and now our time, I set it at 10 minutes, and then just... All right, we are finished. Nice and clean, looks good. I think I'll just give it a rinse in my sink. There's our float bowl. It's pretty good. And the jets. Well, there's one of them anyway. I don't know if it's focusing, but yeah, this all looks good. Okay, I'm gonna give everything a rinse off in the sink, and then we will start reassembling. All right, so we have our carburetor right here cleaned, all of our parts. Time to assemble. Everything's good to go. So I cleaned this float off by hand while that was going. And it's time to start assembling here. So I guess I will start with, my float bowl here, since we're talking about that. Got a new little stopper there. Get that, so now our float will pivot here correctly. All right, so that's good to go. All right, I'm going to put a new washer on this. This one just disintegrated. Lovely. Probably should have tossed that in, but I think it'll be fine. This is on the bottom of our float bowl. I'm just gonna do hand tight for right now. All right, next up is our screws here. So the non-tapered one is going to go in here. So we will screw it all the way in, gently seat it, and I think it was 4 turns out if I remember correctly. So we're screwing it in until it seats. There it is, just gently. So half, 1, half, 2, half, 3, half, 4. And also after this, I'm going to look up in the manual to see if there's a stock spec that it should be. But when in doubt, just put them back to the way they were if it was running decently well. And so now I've got this one here, going in here. I think this one was 1 1/4 turns out. So we'll screw it in, it's gently seated, half, 1, Then about a quarter of a turn there. Then that's how it was. Over here on this side, we've got this screw right here. This one was seated all the way in. So there we go, seated. Now our upper carb body is almost ready. So now we got to assemble our jet back together here. So I'm going to just get that finger tight for right this second. Put this jet on this side. Finger tight for right this second. Then now we will tighten these down properly. All right. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to put this in to our carburetor. Snug it up. And now this is ready to be mated with our float ball. All right. So let's make sure we do this correctly here. So there's only one way this gasket can go. Kind of makes sense. So we'll line that up. All right. Stick our float ball on. Try to line up our screw holes. And gently get our screws in. All right, so that's tight. All right, and now our carburetor is now assembled. I'm gonna go ahead and put a new felt washer on this bolt right here. And we got a new filter here as well. Now that felt washer's quite stiff. All right, so now we have this one on. All right, so this will eventually be attached, but I will leave it not attached right now because I think I might get all new fuel lines. So I'll do new fuel lines. I'll probably toss these pieces right here into the vapor blast, or not the vapor, into the ultrasonic cleaner as well. Clean them up. They do look a little bit grungy, but that's going to be about it for today. All right guys, well that's it for today's video. I just cleaned one of the carburetors in the video because the second one is going to be exactly the same and nobody wants to watch me do that twice. I really don't know if anybody wants to watch me do this once, but if it helps one person out, success. These carburetors are very simple. There's not much to them. Fortunately, it's before all the EPA stuff happened, like on the Japanese bikes in 1981, so you don't have all that restrictions and all that kind of fun stuff. These are very straightforward. There's not much to them. Not much possible chance of messing them up, so hopefully I didn't mess them up. I don't think so. And that's kind of going to be it for today's video. Thank you and have a good night.